So point number 3, but the rattlesnake, or the rattle as it is sometimes called, prefer to avoid people if it possibly can. Rattlesnakes, or we can say a rattle as it's sometimes called, no, and they prefer to avoid people if it possibly can. So they avoid people, and it holds its tail upright, and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed, and rattles its end rattles rattles the end whenever these snakes get disturbed. They move there. So it however, if its warning are ignored and it feels threatened, it will coil ready to bite. If the rattlesnake's warning, if we ignore, then it will be very dangerous for us. So it will be ready to bite if we ignore its warning. It is better if we find such a warning of this rattlesnake, then we should just uh, move from the place. We should leave the place. It hears things through vibration in the ground. And how most generally the snakes they feel, snakes they hears the things through vibration only in the ground. If a person walks nearby, the snake can feel the movement. A snake, how they feel? The vibration of the ground. If anyone, the persons move, uh, persons walks nearby the snake, then it can feel the vibration, it can feel that movement. But if the same person were to shout, it would not hear a thing. If he walks, then he can feel. Okay, if the person walks nearby him, then he will feel. But if the same person shout, he will not hear a thing also. He would not hear anything. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals, living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. So these snakes are very common and widespread animals, and where they are found just living right across the American continent, like from Canada to Argentina. They feed on a variety of prey. What are the things now? What food they like to have? Variety of prey, like including mice. They like mice. They like voles. They like rats. They like uh, chipmunks. So voles means, here you can see, plant eating rodents. This is also called plant eating rodents. Again, chipmunks, here you see a small, right, a small uh, ground squirrels having light and dark strips. Squirrel, like ground squirrel. Okay, all these are uh, rattlesnakes food. Wherever they find, wherever this rattlesnake find all these animals, then they just attack and they make them its food. And many other small animals are there. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. Venom means like poison. With this, uh, like all snakes, they also, how snake they eat their food, they swallow means nikal jana. They swallow the unfortunate animal whole part of the animals, no, every all parts of the animal. It is not that they bite and eat, they swallow the animal fully. Few snakes are, they have to eat more than once a week. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week. After once a week they eat, like python, and such as the larger python can survive for a year or more without eating also. Python is like an snake which can survive for a year, for a year, and or even more, even not 1 year also, even more than 1 year it can survive without eating food. So let's move to the point number 4. There, mongoose like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predators uh, nearby. Mongoose like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predator nearby, like this mongoose. So predator means an animal naturally preying on others. Predator who depend upon the other animal, no, they are called the predator. And this mongoose, they look out for dangerous, always keep a lookout for dangerous predator nearby, and poking their noses into holes. They always poke their nose into their holes, overturning rocks with their paws and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. And banded mongooses are very amusing. Some are banded mongooses are there. They are very much amusing animals. Amusing means they make fun and or entertain us. A common sight in many parts of Africa, they travel in groups of about 20 to forage for beetles, millipedes, and other small creatures. Forage means in search of food. In search of food, this forage. They move about in group. They move about in groups, like in a group they will be 20 or more than 20. Then why they move like this? This site we we find mostly in which parts? In many parts of Africa. They move in groups into in search for this, we can say, in search of food, whatever they get, like beetles, millipedes, and other some small creatures. They whatever they find, they make their food, and they move in groups. They like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. They twitter, they make some sound, and they call to each others, and they always like to hunt together. They don't go alone. Always on the lookout for danger, hawks, eagles, and large snakes. They warn one another with a special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. If they find anything danger, any dangers if they find, then they give a special alarm. They give a special alarm. Why? To warn their partners, or they warn other mongoose. So a special alarm call they give whenever they find any dangers, like danger from the hawks, danger from the eagle, danger from the large snakes. Okay, so this is what is there in point number 5. Now move on to the point number 6. That point number 6, I will tell you in the next video. Okay, that point number 6.